So I've been married to my husband for 3 years. I have a 22-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, but she moved out, and my husband has a daughter too, who's 19 years old. Let's call her Juliet. And she also has a child. She got pregnant when she was 17, and her child is now 2 years old. She used to live with her mother in a different state when she was in high school, but now moved to our state for university. Now this is a problem, because her mother won't move with her and Juliet will have to attend university. Now this child cannot be left alone while she is attending her stuff, and also studying. My husband said he'll rent her a place on his part, but during mornings and afternoons I babysit the child, and when Juliet finishes her classes she'll pass by and take the kid. I said no, I am not in the mental state to handle a child. I work but mostly from home as I own a business that I organize and might go to the company 2 days a week or something. So my life could be described as the peaceful life, as I am my own boss. And despite having commitments, I am mostly in control. But I didn't achieve that for free. I worked my ass off in the past just to achieve this life. Having to take care of a child will disturb all of that, and I know better how draining children are. As much as I love my daughter, I went through hell back then. No, I do not regret having my daughter. Back then, I was young and wanted to have her. But I am not going to overlook the disastrous aspects of being around children, and I really don't want to relive that again because my stepdaughter Juliet decided to have unprotected sex. Yet she wants to live her life while I get to handle her problems, so she would shine. My husband goes to work, so he can't handle the child and asks me to do it because I don't go outside all the time. But I told him no, not my problem. This won't be good for me or the child. He proceeded to call me selfish and told me, what if it was your daughter? I simply told him that asking me this puts him in bad light, because yes, I will handle my daughter's problems, because I am her parent. He is Juliet's parent, yet he is deflecting the responsibility onto me. Her mother too is getting herself out of the picture. I never throw my daughter's problems on him. I also told him he could get her a nanny or put the kid in one of those nurseries, but he refused, saying that's too much money when he is already paying her rent and tuition. Yesterday, I straight up told him that he and her mother should try to solve this situation and leave me out of the equation, because I am not going to help, and that Juliet is not an orphan. She has both her parents living. The three of them should solve this without trying to drop the whole thing on me, and they should live their lives to the fullest. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Would it be nice if you could help with childcare? Yes. But the child is simply not your responsibility. The stepdaughter decided to have this child, and she, and the child's father, is responsible for finding childcare. Her own mother won't move with her. Her father won't change his working hours. So I don't understand why you're being pressured to step in. You have a job. You may be able to switch your working hours, but you're still going to have to work. If you take on childcare, then you're going to be doing that and working in whatever hours are left, while the child's mother and grandparents get to keep having their same old schedules. It is shocking that you're being pressured to do this. Don't give in. The stepdaughter could go to a college closer to her mother. Her mother could move to your state. Your husband could change his hours. The child's father and his family could step in. You are the last person out of all these people who should be responsible. Comment 2. Not the idiot. I absolutely hate when people decide to have kids and then make the kids everyone else's problem. She decided to have the kid, and at her age, I'm sure she knew at the very minimum the child would require a lot of sacrifices and time. She chose to have the child, so she needs to deal with it. If that means she has to get a job and put off school until the child is of school age and frees up some time, then that is what she must do. She is family. That doesn't mean she gets to take advantage and dump her responsibilities on other people. This is why you don't have sex if you aren't ready for children. If you're out there having sex, then you're doing so with the understanding that pregnancy is a possibility, and the child is your responsibility and yours alone, not the idiot OP. If anything, she and the husband are. How dare he volunteer you to watch her kid and not ask you, then guilt you when you set a boundary? Honestly, it's shameful. Comment 3. Not the idiot. 5-day-a-week childcare in mornings and afternoons for 4 years of Juliet going to college while OP is working a full-time job? Nope. The issue isn't that Juliet isn't OP's biological daughter. The issue is that for some weird reason, all of the following people think OP should do 50% of the childcare for Juliet's child. Juliet, Juliet's bio mom, OP's husband, and baby daddy and his entire family. Other relevant info: OP's husband is paying for 100% of Juliet's expenses. College, apartment, food, presumably. Wild guess here. OP's husband did not watch Juliet most of the time when Juliet was ages 2, 6, and has no flipping idea how much work it is. Not like anyone needs more reasons that the child should go to preschool, but here's one. It provides social interaction and education for the child. It is in OP's best interest that the child go to preschool, but it is also in the best interest of the child. Now, for the next story. My ex, 33-year-old female, and I, 33-year-old male, share 3 children. Alana, 10, Jonah, 8, and Callum, 7. My ex cheated on me 2 years ago and left to be with her affair partner, who is now her husband. She and I share custody of our children, 50-50th timeshare, while they have full custody of her husband's 2 children from his previous marriage, which ended with the affair as well. I was always an active dad in our kids' lives, and we had our own little traditions. From baking brownies the day before they go back to school and having a little brownie party, to baking cookies for their birthdays and letting the birthday child pick what kind we make, to doing a group photo for Halloween every year with our costumes and doing silly faces, and our Christmas shopping day where I take the kids and we make a day out of buying the gifts. We go out to eat, get photos taken, sing Christmas songs in the car, etc. They might not be the most traditional traditions around, but I have done this for years with the kids. My ex asked our kids if we still did those things recently, and they said yes. She then told me I should include her stepkids in these activities sometimes because our 3 children are bonding during these experiences and are coming together as a group that doesn't include their step-siblings. Since her stepkids are not going to know our kids as step-siblings, but will only know them as siblings, because of the age and the fact they are always with my ex and their dad, it would be cruel to let them be excluded like that when I could help foster the bond. I told my ex I did not want to include her stepkids. I said she could come up with traditions for them to do as a family unit if she wants. But I'm not going to be more involved with her cheating ex or her affair partner than I need to be. I told her that being civil for the kids is the best we can ever be, and there is no way I want to take responsibility or bond with her stepkids. She called me an ass and said, I am putting my feelings before those of 2 young kids. She said it won't bother our kids at all because they'll always see the stepkids as interlopers, but 2 little kids will always feel othered, and it will be my fault because I'm a prick. She also accused me of being gleeful about the pain of kids. This is not true at all, but she thinks that my having this boundary is me rubbing my hands together like a cartoon villain. Am I the idiot? Now here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You are not responsible for someone else's children, and it is totally normal for blended families to have different traditions. The issue is that she wants them to grow up without anything triggering that potential awkward question of, so why did this all happen in the first place? She wants the affair to not have had any perceived negative impact on the children, but in reality, things are just a bit more complicated than that. It's not your job to make things super easy for her, and you having different traditions with your kids isn't letting the stepchildren down unless they are told by her that they are letting them down. It's just how your family works, and that's okay. Like you say, she just needs to make sure they also have their own traditions. Comment 2. 2 little kids will always feel othered, and it will be my fault. First, they are being othered by your ex. They're her stepchildren. But she can't be bothered to create traditions with them herself, or encourage her affair partner to do it as their father. So she needs them to piggyback onto yours. Second, they can't be othered by you because they are not yours to rear, watch, care for, etc. There is literally no place in your life they belong. She also accused me of being gleeful about the pain, spoken like someone refusing to take responsibility for anything, including her own laziness in building bonds and traditions with the family she sacrificed yours for, not the idiot. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your ex is delusional. Her stepchildren are not your concern or responsibility, and she's got some nerve calling you an ass for not wanting to bond with her affair partner's children. Whew. I don't understand how she even comes up with that twisted logic. Not the idiot. Not the idiot. Not the idiot. Now, for the next story. It's Hurricane Lee. Our governor, news media, etc., has been warning our state for the past week. I am taking care of my special needs grandson, who is nonverbal. During the transition of having my grandson live with me, I had to install the internet because he needs his tablet. My grandson's parents are out of the picture and he is going through a difficult transition. Whenever I have lost power, my daughter-in-law has always told me that I have an open invitation to their house. Plus, they have a generator. Come over, come over. Even if I had power, come over anytime. I'm welcomed anytime. Remember, I have no power, no internet connection, and no Wi-Fi phone. I packed an overnight bag for my autistic grandson, along with food that he likes to eat. I don't know how long we will be without power. I show up. My daughter-in-law is quiet. She tells me that my 40-year-old son had to take their 2 younger sons out so she can have alone time. I apologize that we messed up her time. I asked her if she had everything running on the generator and she said no. After her movie, she does a few things and hides in her bedroom. This is the first time that she met her nephew. No interest on her part to even get to know him. My son called me while I was at their house and said today was my daughter-in-law's alone time and said I shouldn't just show up without calling. I told him I had no power, no Wi-Fi phone. He hung up on me after I had told him. I thought I had an open invitation. He tells me by text that McDonald's has Wi-Fi, and by the time he comes home, he is shutting off his power to his house, so no Wi-Fi for his nephew. He has his 2 other sons sneak upstairs and not to talk to me while we are sitting in the dark. I use the flashlight on my phone to go upstairs to say goodnight to my grandsons. As I get upstairs, my daughter-in-law tells the boys to be quiet. I told my grandsons goodnight and gave them each a hug and kiss. I'm told that I'm just riling my grandsons up. It's 7:30 p.m. They kicked us out in the rain with no lights on in the house to see. We were only there for 1.5 hours, and my lights came back on by that time at my address. Normally, when we lose power, it's for days. I had texted a friend and asked if she could drive by my residence because my son has lied to me in the past. She and her husband offered us to come over in the middle of the night if we lost power again. Am I the idiot in thinking that my son and daughter-in-law wouldn't mind me showing up in bad weather when we had no power? Now for the next story. The bride, Rika, is super nice and undemanding. Her main request to the bridesmaids was to have hair and makeup done by the same HMUA, Rika paying the morning of the wedding for the getting ready hangout. Rika had her mind set on a specific HMUA that offered a fancy bridal experience with lots of extras, and she was very excited about it. I wear bold, dramatic makeup daily. I had no issue sticking to Rika's very different preferred style for her wedding. However, over the last few years, I had a number of painful reactions to makeup products, and I was never able to figure out the trigger. If I immediately take the makeup off, the pain goes away in hours and discomfort fades in a few days. While reactions are rare, I now stick to specific makeup lines I know work for me. I asked Rika if she could ask the HMUA what products they use, or I could do my own makeup while everyone else was getting theirs done, trying for the same look. But Rika just kept saying she had a reputable MUA that followed professional standards of hygiene, and that the makeup would be quite light. It seemed in her head, reactions could only happen with a shady MUA or heavy makeup. Rika said she could pay for me to have a trial done on the same day she'd have hers, so I don't have to worry. I agreed like a dumbass, then realized that didn't work because if the MUA used a triggering product, I would still have a painful reaction just on a different day. I messaged Rika again and had the same pointless conversations. The trial day was coming. I didn't want to just cancel. It made sense in my head to message the MUA with my question directly. Unexpectedly, the MUA straight up said she can't work on me for liability reasons as I cannot identify problem ingredients. Not even using products I name as safe. She also asked if the bride was aware. Turns out Rika had filled out a form that confirmed no one had known makeup sensitivities. I don't blame Rika, she signs medical and customs forms without reading them. But the MUA was enraged. She almost fired Rika as a client. 5 weeks ahead of the wedding, they worked it out. For what it's worth, I haven't ever heard of a MUA with such forms or such a hardcore stance in general. Rika and her maid of honor since implied I was intentionally sabotaging so I could do my usual attention-grabbing makeup. I'm hoping that's MOH/bride stress talking and not what Rika really thinks of me. Several people told me I should have just risked it, considering my reactions, and the chance of them occurring in the first place are relatively minor. The more people say this, the more I'm thinking maybe that is what is expected of a friend. Obviously, my worst move was messaging the MUA directly. But I wasn't getting anywhere with Rika, and I was afraid that she'd be mad if I just said I wasn't doing the HMUA thing. But the more I think of it, Going behind her back on something so important to her may make me the ETA. People keep asking about patch testing. My reactions only trigger on my lips and eyelids. Arm swatching or whatever doesn't help. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.